in the briefing material, then what the moderator should do is say, thank you for sharing that. There's more information about that in the briefing material. Let's go to page 10 to look at this. And then people will read and will discover the information. If that is not available, then another option is for you to say, thank you for sharing that. Let me write that down. And if this is an important point that you need to bring up with experts, then we can formulate a question for the experts. This way, you kind of leave it up to the group. You leave it up to the group to decide whether this particular point is important enough to raise to the plenary session. And this allows the group to decide whether this is something the group wants to clarify. Those are a few options. There potentially are more ways to resolve this situation, but it's very important that the moderator really does not engage the participant in something like this. Now, the second point on this slide is about not doing any kind of show of hands or taking any votes in the discussion. During the discussion, it's very important that the participants don't do this. We don't want participants to feel any kind of social pressure to express opinions one way or another. That's why it's very similar to the reason why we don't reach consensus. We don't really want to know where a group stands. What we're more concerned about is what the reasons are behind a participant's views. So instead of show of hands or voting, what's more is knowing why participants feel a certain way and the reasons behind their opinions. Now, the next slide is about the questions at the end of small groups. About 15 to 20 minutes before a group ends, we ask the participants to formulate a couple questions. The questions can be about anything on the topic, of course, and the group will formulate the question together. However, what we like to do is
in between. And I think the reverse of starting with the core issues and then demography coming later, it's a good map, which I'm happy. And the one last thing which is a bit critical here is the role of the observer. Particularly in Uganda, if I can talk about Uganda, and even a little more specific about Northern Uganda. If you have an observer who has not been well, introduced, it is always taken for some other, scenarios like a spy, and intelligence. So that more or less stays opening of, the minds and the hearts, and people become a little guarded because they're not sure who this observer. To an extent, even when sometimes you introduce the person, there's still that hint that, well, this is a political introduction, but at the core, this person is doing something else. So we need to